So now what I'd like to do is add some content to this side panel, and I want a title, I want a little description about what this map shows, I want credits, that kind of stuff. I need to create a set of labels. So I'm gonna go over here and under the labels section, I'm gonna copy that, but I'm not gonna paste it um, down here at the bottom. I'm going to go actually towards the top because I want to be able to add this content to the side panel. And remember, the panel takes as an argument widgets where we can give it a list of widgets to add. And so this is the kind of the non-linear side of this, is that I'm actually going to go to the very top and paste in labels. And I'm going to make these labels, even though I'm making them like now in my sequence, and I'm putting them here in terms of where they appear in the script. Is that fair? So we're going to do some of these things, and we're going to go to label, and remember the label takes a value, style, target, and image. But we're just going to start by saying, let's do the label, and then it's going to take as the value should be the in this case, it's the title, and I think I did it's a Sinatra reference, just Changes in the Night, and uh, and I'm gonna say that that's that, and then I'm gonna go down here and um, I'm gonna just be lazy and say, all right, I'm gonna copy all of this from the equal sign to just to the left of the semicolon, and then for my abstract, I'm gonna say it's another label, and I'm going to write something like, this image uses additive color to show changes in the average annual magnitude. Maybe that's not the right word for general audience, but of stable nighttime lights between 1993 and 2013. Period, something like that. And it's just going to be all one long line, right? And then we'll work with that later. But that's going to be kind of my abstract, or essentially my like short, like what is this showing me that someone can read. For instructions, I'm going to say, all right, I'm going to paste in another kind of setup here where I'm going to do this as a label. And we'll talk about this later. I think I'm going to just um, leave that kind of blank for now, but at least initialize that we're going to write something here. Um, for a story link, I'm going to say, all right, I'm going to paste this in, and I'm going to say um, link to descriptions of patterns. And then this is going to be something where I say target URL is going to be, and I'm going to go to the primer, and in this case, because under glossary I have a page here that describes some of these patterns. But this is where in your own work you could link a Google Doc, and I can help you with that if you want it. But it's pretty straightforward. You're just going to need to go here. Obviously not to mine, but I'm going to quickly go to my Google Drive, and it's under TeachMid and under 251 uh, here, and I wonder where I stuck it. Um, Docs, story demo. You could have here, write a narrative that interprets your results. Make sure that you share your document. So the idea is that you go to share and you make sure that anyone with a link is a viewer, and you copy that link, and then you can go in here and you could paste that in, and this link would then go to your Google Doc. Is that fair? So then I'm going to keep going here, and I'm going to copy this and say I want to give credits, and I want the credits to say um, uh, could be your name, and then eventually I'm going to want to do that on its kind of break the line. So I'm just going to do the slash n so that all of these things get put on separate lines. And but I think it's good to give yourself credit, but then probably also the course that this work came from. And then for source, we can similarly say, all right, I need a label that is going to say value is going to be something like source. And then the target URL is going to be, well, if I go to here, it's probably easiest just to point right to the Changes in the Night tutorial as the source for this thing. And that's that. So then the idea is that now that I have these kind of defined, I should be able to go to the side panel, create a dictionary, and under widgets, right? Because now what I'm doing is um, is adding a list of widgets to appear on the side panel. And I can kind of create a list. And often I like to do this um, like this because it kind of it's going to vertically show me the layer that the vertical list here is going to map to how they appear one after another on this, hopefully. And so if I say abstract, and then I'm getting a little tired, so I'm just going to go and copy that and say, and then add the instructions, and then I'm going to say the story link, and then I'm going to say the credits, and then I'm going to say the source, and then see if it likes it. And I'm going to say run, and there it is. Um, they are appearing by default to be arranged vertically. They're not very well distinguished because they all have the same type, and that my desire to make those new lines did not work. So I'm going to clearly have to go affect the style, but this at least works. So the hyperlinks kind of work. And so we've got content here. It's just that next we need to bring in kind of some visual style to help give this a little punch. We can also maybe think about a little bit of, yeah, let's do that. Or I guess we can maybe do one more thing now. In addition to widgets, there's something called layout and style. So the layout by default is going to be a vertical, but let me just go ahead and show you kind of what this means. If you say layout and then type in, it's a little bit long-winded, but you panel layout flow vertical, it's probably going to not make a difference, right? It's still going to be done like that. If I said horizontal here, then these are going to be arranged from kind of horizontally. So it's about how do you want these widgets to flow in your panel. Luckily, the default is vertical, so we could skip this step, but I just wanted to, but sometimes this is, sometimes you actually want things to go horizontally, not in this case, but in others. So I just wanted to kind of point that out. And then what we'd like to do is go to the style, and you can see that the widgets can have a style, approved CSS styles. So it's going to be a dictionary. And I want to kind of suggest that we will want to maybe affect the width of this thing. By default, it's taking up 50%. And what we could say is, we could do a rule of thirds and just say we want the width to be 30%. And now that's going to be more over there. And sometimes on a big, it depends on your monitor, but this is going to be, if you ran this on a phone, it would be 30% of your screen would be devoted to the side side panel, which you can then adjust, but it's just kind of controlling how much gets displayed by default. Sometimes I'll go, and 30% is a good kind of rule of third, and sometimes even a quarter kind of works. It depends a little bit on how we size this. But that's just it's getting closer. The main thing I feel like that's missing right now is that we need to improve the look of the type over here. So I'm going to save and then move on.